What's up, everybody? It's your boy, Dr. Miso Josie with the Empowerment Perspective Group. Thanks for tuning in to the Empowerment Perspective Podcast. This is episode 1 of season 3. We sit down with Mr. Petty's family and we discuss the importance of family on this particular episode. We also give you an update as to what the Empowerment Perspective Group has been up to over the last couple of months. So sit back and enjoy. When they gonna pass the rain down to you? When they gonna put you?
I don't know if that responsibility should be given to me because I already know where we're gonna be. We're gonna be embarrassed.
You'll be by yourself.
Absolutely. This is where we're going. So we're gonna skip out on Jersey, Virginia, Maryland, Chester. No, we're not done. We're gonna Paris this week.
That makes sense.
So me and the bougie folks, we're all gonna have a bougie family reunion in Paris.
It's the Empowerment Perspective Podcast, hosted by Miso Josie and Mr. Kareem Spence. Stay empowered. All right, welcome to yet another episode of the Empowerment Perspective Podcast. And my name is, for the first time, Dr. Miso A. Josie, alongside
Spence is here.
How you doing, sir?
Doing well, so I still got the shirt on.
I know, you got the little presenter thing on. You didn't even wear it when we presented.
But I did wear it. I think this is day 2. We switched up.
It was day 2, switched it up.
Then we had to hop on a plane, so I had time.
Yeah, that's true. So just to get everybody caught up, this is season 3, the beginning of season 3 of the Empowerment Perspective podcast. So we had to shut it down for a little bit because I had to get my dissertation together.
Yes.
I had to write that big paper and all that stuff. So
a
little bit busy and switch jobs and all that other wonderful things. And obviously being a husband and a father also played a part in that. So we shut it down for a little bit, but the Empowerment Perspective kept grinding. We just got back a couple weeks ago from Atlanta, down in the A. How do you think that went down there?
I think they loved us down there. Man, we even had that Kobe moment, so that was crazy.
The Kobe moment. We'll talk about that a little bit later on the B side of this. But so we went down to the Innovative School Summit and we gave our presentation on how to reach and teach today's hip-hop generation. It was our first 3-hour presentation.
And we rocked it.
We did. I thought, at first I was like, 3 hours was a long time, but we had at least another hour and a half of material that we didn't get to. So feedback from that was amazing. People definitely enjoyed it. Then we hit them with a 1-hour session after that. And then, like usual, they thought we was rock stars and taking pictures and stuff with us. I think it was hilarious. But there were some great educators down in Atlanta doing some wonderful things. But it wasn't just people from Atlanta. It was people from all over, from West Coast to East Coast and all that. So we had that going on. And it works right now. Working on the documentary. Just waiting on this camera to come in. So the AV, we set the stages for that. So we're going to talk about the people that I grew up, the men that I grew up with, and how we defied the odds to become successful. So we're going to tell that story. My daughter who's in the building, we'll get to her in a little bit. We also started our little show, DTD, Daughter Teaches Daddy. So we did a little slime episode where she taught me how to do slime. I took her up to Boston to do to the slime convention and all that stuff.
Stop. What do you mean a slime convention?
There is a slime convention. Apparently they're everywhere.
A slime convention?
Yeah, man. And you go there, you buy slime, trade slime, you get all kinds of slime supplies.
Okay, so you're trading like it's S&P 500. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, we trade. We went from garbage pail kids to trading slime. We'll get to that in a minute too. Make sure she talks about that. We got a new episode coming up about cooking. So apparently she's going to teach me how to cook. The Empowerment Perspective is all about helping people. And,
yes, sir.
And, if I can't help my own family and exposing my kids to as much as I possibly can, then I'm not doing my job as a father. But that's just the message and things that we try to get out there. So the parents that are out there, if your kid has some interest, feed it. You know what I mean? So that's part of what we're going to talk about a little bit today on this particular show. But we have some special guests in the building. We are in a very special place right now.
It's a family affair, right?
Family affair.
My new cousins, yes. my new cousins from Virginia, and we're here. And before let's just go ahead and like we always do.
Okay.
So we want to talk about family. How important it is, Vice President, to have like family gatherings.
It's something that you probably would have to grow up with. We grew up as a close family, starting from mother, father on down to cousins, third and fourth cousins. Some people probably think we're cousins, we're sisters and brothers because we grew up just that close, and it has followed through our reunions.
Okay. I know that we haven't, like, the particular Fitzgerald Swimmer Lang C haven't been like since '86, and we've been trying off and on. And I guess the biggest difficulty with us is trying to coordinate so many different households to be able to say on this particular moment and this particular time that we're actually going to go and be with our other family. And it's taking you guys to come close as possible to Atlantic City for us to say, you know what, we're here.
Yeah.
So, and I'm sure that you guys have probably met some of the other cousins that didn't show up last night that are here today. Our phone's been ringing all day because they're here.
Absolutely. And I'm glad you guys, we got the opportunity to bring you all into our reunion. It's your reunion as well. This is our 72nd.
Yes,
and
my third, but yeah. That's my third one. So it's my third one.
So this was going on even before I was born.
Okay.
So it is awesome that we have carried it from year to year.
Yes. Now, Cousin Cheryl, I know that I had to reach out because I got information late, so I had to reach out to you. How difficult was it to coordinate? Because you handled most of the business stuff, and how tough is that?
It's as tough as your plan is. If you don't have a plan, it can be kind of cumbersome and kind of convoluted as far as gathering so many people together. I am not the first to do this. Actually, this was my first full year of being a business manager. I follow in the footsteps of another cousin of mine, James Rome, and he has done the business planning part for FGHT for the last 30 years or more, right?
Yes, more than 30 years.
Yes, so he had set the pace, so to speak. So we have been following that pace now as far as organizing and putting in the people, getting the information out. I have come along. He's in his late 80s now.
Okay.
So he decided just to...
Early 80s.
Early 80s, I'm sorry. He is in his early 80s right now, so he wanted to, take a step back and let somebody else do that. So I shadowed him for a couple of years, actually.
Did you volunteer, or they just told you this is what you're going to do?
Like, you and me.
I think I was...
It was both?
I would say it was
you put the pressure on it, didn't you?
First you're kind of pressured into it, and then you end up volunteering because they make you think it's a really smooth job and everything. But you also have to remember, we didn't start off with 3 days. The family reunion started off being 1 day, just Saturday, and it actually started off in someone's backyard.
Okay.
That was the first, and then they had it a couple of years at this place called Sun Oil. In Chester, Pennsylvania.
It's like a gas company.
Parks, Pennsylvania. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. I'm not exactly sure. Well, I said Chester. I'm not sure it was Chester, but I know they called it Sun Oil.
Okay.
And then I can't remember the year, but there were many years before we went to the 3-day.
Okay.
Yeah, it was just a 1 day. And then when we started, because relatives come from distances, so just for a 1 day affair, they wanted to make it worth their while. So then we went from 1 day to the 3 days.
Got you. Now you said you're the business manager. What does that mean? Like, what is when you put on an event like this? Like, what role and what's some things that you have to do to prepare for something like this?
Well, the caliber of the attendees, the people that are coming is kind of big. So you have to kind of coordinate. And this one person, the business manager, is sort of like the spokesman when it comes to contractual activity, collecting the money, being accountable. That person is the business manager. So they're dispersing the money. They're being accountable to the reunion committee, the executive committee, as far as where the money goes. That type of thing, because that's very important. You always got to watch,
you gotta watch the money. You gotta watch the money.
And you got that person has to be totally fair, equitable.
See, that's why my family can't handle it.
We don't have a court system, so no, up the money, then she gonna have to face people. Mainly the vice president who be knocking on the door like we have the money. Yes.
So in that respect, I think the business manager plays a very important role. We do have a first president, a second vice president. We have recording secretaries. We have correspondence secretary. We have a chaplain. We have a historian. Those positions are there, and it's all on a volunteer basis. But the business manager is the most important because we send the information out, and that response is sent back to the business manager to do the recording and to handle the money part of it.
When they gonna pass the rain down to you? When they gonna put you?
I don't know if that responsibility should be given to me because I already know where we're gonna be. We're gonna be in Paris.
You'll be there by yourself.
Absolutely. This is where we're going. So we're gonna skip out on Jersey, Virginia, Maryland, Chester. No, we're not done. We're going to Paris. That's where we're going.
That makes sense.
So me and the bougie folks, we're all going to have a bougie family reunion in Paris.
And one of our other the things that's important is during the year we have 2 planning meetings, the executive committee along with any members, because it's always open to any members who would like to attend, and that those meetings are held in March and October of each year. And so the first meeting after the reunion is in October, and we more or less talk about what we did not wrong, but what we could do better from the previous reunion and things like that.
Did it take a whole lot as far as organization? Because it sounds like you guys
Yeah, because the business manager, again, another important role is that person is the most strategic person on the whole committee.
Yeah, you can't do that.
They're monitoring, the money being spent. Is it worth it? Is it, do we need to order 200 extra T-shirts? No, of course not. That doesn't make sense. So the business manager is there to kind of draw it in and make it real, because actually a family reunion has no income. There is not an income coming in on a weekly or bi-weekly.
So you pretty much have to, that's
right.
me.
So our family reunion, and we always encourage a lot of fundraising.
You guys have fundraisers?
Yes, we do.
Vice President of the fundraiser?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
What y'all do last year for fundraising?
Okay, each area, we usually go up and down the East Coast from different areas. So there are different sectors that have their own fundraisers in the name of FGHT, which is our family. So if you're raising the funds in the name of FGHT, when you do your fundraiser, you will then send your money that you have gained to the FGHT treasury. So that's why the business manager is another, important person to receive and be accountable for that money, because when the time comes to have the reunion, there's a few extra things that you might want to do that fundraising money will take care of. That fundraising money also could we strive to make it affordable to the participants. So that fundraising money could well offset some of the costs that you will pay to come.
Okay. Now, FGHT, did you guys realize that you actually spelling fight? Now, I know I got a lot of fight in me.
There's no missing the I.
Well,
There's no I
I got a lot of fight in me, so I kept looking at it like this acronym. This says fight.
It works. It's a lot of work, but it's well worth it. Not too many families have been together consistently on a yearly basis for 72 years. And this is our 72nd. We're going into our 73rd. So we're about to hit that milestone year of 75, and we look forward to it.
Where are we going at 75?
Paris.
Oh yeah, but put your thinking caps on. You're in the family now. You're back.
Yeah, something back.
I'm not going to call you new. You're back.
South Beach.
Insane.
I mean, you guys went to the beach today. I didn't go because it was hot.
Well,
I've got standards, and anytime it's above 86, no, I'm not going out. I'm staying in this nice comfortable room.
It's not what family's all about.
It is what family's all about. See, here's what happens. Now, when it gets too hot, people get irritable real fast. I don't like to see family fighting.
You know, we
don't do
and that
that.
has never happened.
Never?
No.
Maybe in my mind, that's how it works. In my mind, that's just how it works.
You're not together that long. I mean, just like today, we were out in the park. We were only out in the park for about 4 hours.
That's way too many hours.
Yeah, but by the time that you had food and you met everyone that you hadn't seen at the hotel the night before, and that time, it was time to come back to the hotel.
Did you go to the park today?
No.
Why not? Because you ain't fundraising.
Well, here's the
They
thing.
didn't invite you.
Here's the thing. Here's what happened. So came in and I had 3 bottles of wine. Right. Family drank up all my wine. So now I'm about 40 minutes from where I live. So now I got to figure out where I can get my wine.
So you ain't gonna be outside hot and irritable because you didn't have your wine. I get it.
I need to make sure I have my wine for the night.
That don't make sense.
And I do have my wine. I would mention the bottle, but he's not paying us.
No,
so.
he's not paying. That's not at all. So what are some of the events that you guys have going on this weekend or that you've already done?
Well, of course, we went to the park today. We have the activities in the park. We try to accommodate all ages, have something for them to do. In this park, well, first of all, it was hosted by our New Jersey relatives, the people that live
Don't look at
here.
me. I did the hosting last night. That's what I did.
And that's the organizing that we do. Usually the whole city, where the family reunion, where we have the relatives get together and form their own internal committee to plan the activity. So they chose that particular park. And it had a lot of things going on for all ages. There was the water, there was paddle boats, there was...
the kids don't realize it's hot.
I got the call. They said it's hot. I'm going to get in the water. It's so hot.
Now, last Saturday it was hot. Today
Last
wasn't
Saturday
hot.
was hot.
Today
That's where I was
wasn't
at last Saturday. I was in the house.
Yeah, we were supposed to have a podcast. I was like, no, we ain't doing it.
Because it was hot. You canceled the podcast because it was too hot.
Well, one thing about FGHT, it's a rain or shine bit. If it was pouring that rain outside today, we still would have been out there.
Because we always plan with the pavilion.
Yes.
We always plan with the pavilion.
I know you ladies have to go soon, but I do want to ask one more question before you guys get out of here. Definitely appreciate you being on. Give, I guess, what's the importance of family and to you? What does family mean to you, and why is it important for them to get together at least once a year?
It is important for family to get together to celebrate, to know from where you came. And that can better give you an idea of where you're going.
Makes sense.
So it is awesome to know, my ancestors and what they went through to achieve certain things, and where I can aspire to build upon that, to go even further. And that's exactly what has happened. I come from a family of 8. I was raised on a farm. And I learned a lot on that farm to prepare me for life. So I am very thankful for my upbringing, and I celebrate that all the time. Me and my sister. My sister is the oldest, and I am the youngest of 8. So we appreciate our families to the utmost. And I think that is so important to make your siblings or your children proud of who you are and where you've been, and it makes you appreciate the things that you have as an adult. Does that make sense?
100%.
And with family, you always have, it's like a backup. And that's the way we are, because we're family. You never know where your help is going to come from if there is a need. And in fact, as we were leaving the park today, we met a family member where the children had played together. They're like 11. They didn't even realize they were relatives. Yeah, they moved from Maryland to New Jersey, and here they are meeting at the family reunion and realizing they were relatives.
Oh wow!
Yeah, and so it's just that. Yeah, and it's like that backup. You always feel you have that backup. And it's like, if you were raised in a family and you lose a parent, have you ever felt like the rug was pulled from under you? Yeah, I know. I felt that way when my dad died. And as I told you, my mom just passed in February. And even though she wasn't say up and at the time and maybe the last 2 years she had been in bed, but it was still you still feel like it's not you don't have that backup anymore, and that's the way family is.
Absolutely. And also family, it's a network. Yeah, it's always a network. There are a lot of instances, even within the FGHT arena, where one cousin might be trying to go to Pennsylvania to do something and need a place to stay.
We have it all the time. All the time. Yeah.
So somebody in Pennsylvania say, well, yeah, they can stay with me for 3-4 weeks or however this program.
Y'all got a really nice family. My cousin called me 2 o'clock in the morning and asked me to pick him up from the bus stop. I was like, no. It's 2 o'clock in the morning.
No,
And especially with the children going to school, going on the top of that, we've had many incidents of that where, you say, my child's coming up to go to Penn State. Oh, well, she can stay with me while she's here. And we have it all the time.
It's awesome.
Yeah, it works. It has. And we're blessed. We're very blessed.
Awesome. Well, thank you.
What's on the menu for tonight? Before you guys go, what do we have planned for tonight?
Tonight, another gathering we're going to have is a reception.
Okay.
Where we're going to have light, I wouldn't say light hors d'oeuvres,
Okay.
but food and dancing.
Food and dancing.
We're going to continue to enjoy the company of our relatives.
And the theme for tonight?
The theme for the night is it's a Wakanda affair from the Black Panther.
You guys, we had to get dressed?
Look, you'll sit there. They
He gonna come and bark in like
Wait. Okay, so do we have to do like the little thing too? For the Wakanda? No. Okay, all right. I've got limits and certain things I just won't do. So Wakanda forever. Okay, I think that's awesome.
We're going to have that tonight, and then tomorrow we'll have our Sunday program, where we normally have a speaker of some type.
Okay.
And then we form our unity circle. And
what time is that?
Dismiss. The program starts at 10.
You push that back this week.
See, I knew he was going to say that. I knew he was going to say that.
Okay, so being as though you guys are going to have to start embracing me, that's some of the things that we say here on this show is that, we have to embrace each other. Okay, so we'll need you guys to just push it back to about 1:30. Ramp up there. Embrace me so I can get my sleep.
No, because remember, a lot of us are traveling.
Me too.
And we have to check out of the hotel.
You're only traveling for a week.
You can get late checkout?
No. They don't give us late checkout.
They don't give you late checkout?
No.
They give me late checkout.
Oh, well, that's because they're going to charge you too. And we can't
No,
do
you're
it.
not. No, they will not.
Never check.
I think
No,
if more than 1 or 2 of us start asking for late checkout, you'll hear about it.
That's funny.
I'll start complaining. I'm getting me a late checkout. Okay, so we have, hors d'oeuvres tonight, and then we have dancing. Okay. All right, so I'll let you guys get dressed. And
the food is only served 8:30 to 9:30.
I was going to eat food.
So you must be.
Gotta be on time.
Yes, you can.
I wasn't going to eat the food. You guys are going to have to get used to me. And here's the thing. I don't like hotel food. Hotel food's the worst.
It sure is.
They gonna say you ain't a lot of part of the family. Hey, how is he related?
I'm not really sure, but I have some questions for you,
What do you have?
I just want to know what your expectations are. Because
My expectations?
Kind of like a little off balance with what we normally do.
Can't be
Just
too.
think about it. I mean, maybe that was.
No, I can answer the question. Okay, so it can't be too hot. Can't be too cold. The food can't have no pork, no beef, no mayonnaise, maybe some barbecue sauce because I don't really like a whole lot of barbecue. No hot dogs. So I like to bring my own stuff.
Well, you should, and you should,
And we have relatives who do that.
and you should, because you are the minority and not the majority.
I like that word. I like to think. I like to think that things are supposed to go my way.
No, not quite. Not in this scenario.
It will.
No.
I don't know about that.
We didn't get this far with the empowerment perspective for me just laying down.
Stay tuned to watch Kareem get kicked out this family.
No, we're not going to keep him out. We're not going to
I'll kick him out for you.
But
You guys have fun tonight.
I definitely want to thank you guys. Thank you for taking time out, to come sit and talk to us. And I'll see you guys in a little bit, and we'll have some wine.
All right. Thank you.
All right. All right, I hope you enjoyed episode 1 of season 3 of the Empowerment Perspective podcast. Coming up next on episode 2, we sit down with educator Miss Jamie Roberts and introduce her as a new member of the Empowerment Perspective group. So learn how to get your kids ready for the upcoming school year. So stay tuned and stay empowered.